Carlos Ghosn has fled to Lebanon. The former CEO of Nissan has left Japan, where he faces charges of alleged financial wrongdoing. Ghosn said in a statement, "I have not fled justice. I have escaped injustice and political persecution." Yahoo Finance senior columnist Rick Newman joined us now to break this down. Rick, bizarro situation.
A weird situation, just got weirder. So this case has not proceeded the way we're used to cases like this happening in the United States. So there was the surprise arrest when Carlos Ghosn got off a private jet in Tokyo in 2018. He was arrested a total of 4 times. He's never really been able to have his say and say, here's what's going on here. So the charges are basically that he embezzled money from Nissan Renault, that he got the company to pay for private expenses. And he says, no, that this is all about my retirement, preparing for my retirement pay. So it's very unclear. And there have been instances in Japan where prosecutors seem to have arrested him, like once they arrested him the day before he said he was going to give a news conference. So it's like they don't want him to speak. They don't want him to tell his side of the story. It's really hard to tell what's going on here.
It's crazy because I think Ghosn's lawyer was quoted as saying they have all his passports. So how did he get out of the country?
I don't know. I mean, it's unknown. I mean, apparently he arrived in Lebanon via Turkey. Now, he is a citizen of Lebanon. His parents were Lebanese. He's lived there for part of his life. His wife is also Lebanese. So it's a place where he's familiar, and he's also very popular, and they have they don't extradite people to other countries. So he's seemingly safe there, but he would have to stay in Lebanon.
Is there any read-through here regarding Nissan? Nissan has put a new leader in place, but this is the last thing, I'm sure, the last publicity Nissan wants to see right now.
Yeah, there are implications here for Nissan Renault. So he's out of the company at this point. I mean, he's never coming back to be involved with Nissan Renault. But this company has really struggled with him gone. And what has become apparent is, this is not a merger. This is an alliance, Nissan Renault and also Mitsubishi. So it's, these far-flung auto companies that Carlos Ghosn was able to kind of keep together, and the partnership allowed them to buy some components in unison, share costs where it made sense, and do things like that. That's really important in the auto industry these days, with all the R&D money going into electrification and things like that. This alliance has really fractured since Carlos Ghosn has been gone. Nissan is really struggling. Sales are down. So it's some evidence that Carlos Ghosn really was holding this alliance together.
Rick, from what you know about Carlos Ghosn, do you think he pulls a Papa John's John Schnatter here, comes out and speaks out aggressively against the company?
Well, he has said he's going to do that. So he said, next week I'm going to have something to say about this. It's going to be quite interesting because it's not entirely, it seems possible to my mind that these are politically motivated charges for some reason. So he has said all along that he thinks it's people inside Nissan. He thinks this is part of kind of a power play inside Nissan. That these are kind of drummed up charges. I have no idea about the legitimacy of the charges, but it does seem at least somewhat plausible that there could be some truth to that. So it's going to be very interesting to see what he has to say.
And Japan effectively can't do anything here?
I'm not sure. So Carlos Ghosn can't leave Lebanon. Is he going to live as a celebrity fugitive in Lebanon, but no place else? Supposedly he owns a winery in Lebanon, so he's got something to do. Yeah. He has a big mansion there, and he's popular. They put him on a postage stamp. He's kind of a national folk hero. So I guess he could sort of bide his time in Lebanon, but he's been a globetrotter for so long. The guy lived on a private jet for years. You have to wonder, could Carlos Ghosn actually be comfortable cooling his jets in Lebanon without leaving, or might he get the travel itch and decide to go to Paris or something and be nabbed there?
Well, maybe
it's really fascinating.
Maybe he'll make some wine and send it over here.
Automotive executives are usually boring these days, and now one of them is a celebrity fugitive who's about to thumb his nose at the Japanese government.
Waiting for the next Netflix movie. You know it's coming.
I hope so.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.